All right. Let's get this on here. Actually, you won't be able to see me, so I'm just going to face it forward. It is now about 6 o'clock in the morning. And the reason why I'm driving to work this early in the morning is because I took yesterday off. And as I mentioned in my previous vlogs, this place wants you to work 40 hours a week. No less, no more. And if you do have to take a day off, you know, there's really nothing much they can do if only work 32 hours. But they want you to get as close as possible. So I'm going to work 12 hours a day. And since my wife is going to be using the car tomorrow, I can only do 8 hours tomorrow because I'll be catching the train. And I'm limited to only 8 hours when I do that. And I don't know. If I feel like it, I may go in on Saturday. That's to be determined. But at least working today, I will, if I work 12 hours a day, I will have, 36 hours logged, which will be a lot better than 32. And so I think I'll, make a good portion of that time by working today. So 12 hours is a long time. I'm definitely not looking forward to that. And because it's nighttime still, it's early morning, the camera's going to face forward the whole drive. Because you're not going to be able to see me anyway. Alright, let's get on to work. It's looking pretty cloudy out here. It says a good chance of storms today. All day today and all day tomorrow. There's a lady walking her dog. Very cute. That's kind of cool. This is a lady walking a dog. And you probably saw it on camera. You probably did because it's so dark. And she had on a reflective vest. And on the vest itself, it had a blinking light. On the dog had a reflective vest and a blinking red light on both sides of the dog. I think I've never seen that before. Seriously, I've never seen that before. I thought that was really cool. A little bit later today, I want to discuss a little bit about the iPhone 5 announcement by Apple, the iPhone 5 and the iPod announcement. I was impressed. It wasn't enough for me to get away from Windows Phone. It's not enough. It did not impress me 100%, but it was impressive. I think the two things I was most impressed about was Siri, the improvements they made on Siri. They're going to add Siri to the iPod Touch. And I was really impressed with the iPod Nano. I like that. In fact, because the Nokia Lumia 920 doesn't have a mini SD slot where I can expand the memory, instead of putting every single song that I want to listen to onto the Nokia, and maybe only putting my favorite songs on the Nokia, I may get the iPod Nano to put all my songs on it. For like jogging or exercising, stuff like that. I think that's a great idea. And I know there was a comment made on YouTube And I don't remember which channel. I don't know if it was Walking Home but someone made a comment on someone's review. No, it was someone else's channel of the Nokia Lumia 920. And they said, well, why buy a phone that can do everything? We can get everything separate. You can get a iPod, you can get just a regular flip phone and a laptop computer and all that. And I'm like, well, why not get everything in one? Just get everything in one. You get a laptop for laptop usage. You get a tablet that can do half of everything that a laptop can do. And then you get a phone that's more portable that you can carry around with you. That's a little mini computer. Whether it's an Android, iPad, or iPhone, or Windows Phone 7 or 8. Why not? I want the Lumia 920. Seriously. And if money goes well, because I do like Apple products. I never said I dislike Apple. Never said it. I like Apple products. It's just not for me. But instead of getting an iPhone, that iPod Touch looked pretty damn good to me. I liked it. I wouldn't mind getting an iPod Touch along with the Lumia 920. And then I have the best of both worlds. Then I have a Nexus 7. I have the best of all three worlds. Nexus 7, iPod Touch, a Microsoft Surface, and the Lumia 920 as my main phone. And one thing I was impressed with was that the iPod Touch also does 1080p video. Now, the iPhone does is an 8 megapixel camera. The iPod Touch is a 5 megapixel camera. Okay, so that's just like any other phone that's been made in the last few years. But the iPod Touch is not a phone, so there you go. Whereas the iPhone is the flagship of Apple mobile technology, the iPod Touch is just a limited version of the iPhone because it's not a phone and it doesn't exactly have all the specs of the iPhone. But I accept that, and I would never get an iPhone because why would I have two phones? A Lumia 920 and an iPhone. Why would I have two phones? But I'll be willing to get that iPod Touch. I think that's a really nice product. Or I may get the iPod Nano. But really and truly, more I think about it, the iPod Touch would be a better fit. And I can have all of those Apple products. I can have at least one Apple product in my home that I could review and play with a few Apple apps, iPhone apps, because a lot of the iPhone apps will work on an iPod Touch just fine. And then, will I ever get an iPad? I don't know. The iPad does not impress me. It does not. It does not impress me well enough to where I gotta have an iPad. I have to have an iPad. But what was announced yesterday was the iPhone. They already announced iOS 6. That's already been announced. But they did cover a lot of the features of iOS 6. And they also talked about the iPod. So it seemed like they got rid of the iPod Classic. That's been gone. The one with the hard drive, in it. And it seemed like they're pushing the iPod Touch and the iPod Nano. They didn't make any changes to the iPod Shuffle. No changes to the iPod Shuffle. So, yeah. But I think the iPod Shuffle is good in itself. 2 gigabytes. It's just enough to where you can clip it onto your jogging gear and jog. And it's not really a whole lot you got to think about. Just put 50 to 100 songs on there and start jogging. I think that's what the iPod Shuffle is good for. You can't really control it that well. It's only got like a playback forward, backwards, or next and previous. It's not really a whole lot of things, and it doesn't have a screen, so you can't really control what you're listening to. It's just good enough to where you can clip it on your jogging gear and jog. And I think a lot of people like that because it's just a tiny little piece of equipment. It doesn't take a whole lot to carry it, and it's easy to clip onto your clothing. Whereas iPod Nano, you can literally control it because it's got a touch screen. It's got a touch screen on it. You can see what you're looking at. You can scroll up and down, and you have a lot more control over what you're looking at. And plus, you can play a couple of games on there. It's cute. It's a cute little thing. And you can also play video. And I think that was an added touch to it. You can play videos on it. So, and because it's 16:9 ratio, it's not high definition videos. But at least the videos that you play back on it, it'll be high definition like. It will at least have that appearance of high definition on it. The iPod supported a new screen. You got Retina display. You have better than high definition video viewing on it, 720p. Better than 720p, say like that. And and it supported a lot of great features. Now, one thing I was disappointed about the fact that the iPhone does not have NFC. They did not adopt that technology. And I'm very unhappy about that because the only phones that will have NFC will be the Windows Phone and the Android. And Android did have it first. But the fact that the iPhone will not have NFC will not make the merchants purchase NFC reader equipment so that we can go ahead and start using our phones for payments. I think that was a very sorry, very inexcusable feature that maybe was not announced. If it was announced, it wasn't announced, but if it is a feature, they did not make a big deal out of it, or they did not mention it. But I'm kind of surprised because they could at least say, and it has this, it has that, and it's got NFC capabilities. Oh, great. NFC. Great. We're moving forward in technology. But it doesn't have NFC. I was very disappointed to hear that. And another disappointment, I think a lot of people can agree with this, wireless battery charging. It doesn't come with it. Now, there are some accessories that you can purchase through third party that will give you the ability to do wireless charging. What they have to do is literally take apart the phone and put the wireless battery in it so that you can have wireless charging on your iPhone. But I'm going to get some coffee real quick because I need some coffee. I'll be right back. Go ahead and turn off the phone real quick.